Oh my goodness, House Representative from Georgia, Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know, the former bestie of Donald Trump, is transitioning right before our very eyes, much to the chagrin of the President of the United States. Because remember, before there was Blondie Bondi, and before Trump had an obsession with blonde Caroline Leavitt lips, he also had a crush on Marjorie Taylor Greene. But something's going on in the water out there, or at least it's about the midterms in this breaking story, because Marjorie Taylor Greene is starting to sound oddly intelligent versus the way she used to sound, as we all remember, this.
And can you tell me why so many people that support Donald Trump love conspiracy theories, including yourself?
Marjorie Taylor Greene is a fan of Nazi analogies. And this one, like so many of hers, went horribly wrong.
Not only do we have the D.C. jail, which is the D.C. gulag, but now we have Nancy Pelosi's gazpacho police.
Yes, she said gazpacho.
He seems to attract lots of conspiracy theorists.
Well, let me tell you, you're a conspiracy theorist, and the left and the media spreads more conspiracy theories.
And of course, there was this.
Now, we've known for decades our planet is warming. Republican Congressman Marjorie Taylor Greene is promoting a bizarre conspiracy theory about a mysterious they controlling the weather, suggesting that they are sending hurricanes to Republican areas to impact the election. Like someone is sitting at some computer somewhere pressing hurricane.
What about Jewish space lasers? Tell us about Jewish space lasers.
No, why don't you go talk about Jewish space lasers, and really, why don't you f*** off?
And let's not leave out our favorite, what Jimmy Kimmel had to say about her, this.
Mr. Potato Head is no longer a Mr. Hasbro, the company that makes the potato-shaped plastic toy, is giving the Spud a gender-neutral new name, Potato Head. And, of course, everyone got upset. Fox News, they had to call the anchors in from home to come to work for this. Boy, when Marjorie Taylor Greene hears about this, potato heads are going to roll. The frontrunner for Worst Human of 21 is working to defeat the Equality Act right now. This is an act that would ban discrimination against Americans based on sexual orientation or gender identity. And this is Marie Newman. She works across the hall from Klan Mom. Her daughter happens to be transgender, so she decided to put up a flag outside her office to support her child. And of course, Marjorie could not let this go. She had to respond by putting up a sign outside her office that said there are two genders, male and female. Trust the science. Now she trusts the science.
And yet in this breaking story, she actually is suggesting that we overthrow Donald Trump. Let's hear her say it in her own words. It is amazing. Check out this breaking story right here. Breaking news, Marjorie Taylor Greene calls for government overthrow. In quotes, it apes you every single day. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican of Georgia, suggested that forgotten Americans should overthrow the government. In quotes, I call them the forgotten American man and woman, she explained. That is the largest group of Americans, and I think in my opinion that is the most powerful group of Americans. They could rein in their government like that, she snaps her fingers. Not only could they rein it in, they could overthrow it, she remarked. That's about 100 million Americans, right? This is how you do it. Greene insisted that the federal government has screwed you over. Let's hear it from her own words, shall we?
The American people have forgotten their power. So you're talking about the working poor. I'm talking, and I call them the average, I call them the forgotten American man and woman, but that's the same group. That is the most powerful group of Americans. I think that is the group of Americans that have no idea that they are so powerful, they could rein in their government like that. Not only could they rein it in, they could overthrow it. And
How could they do that though? Just out of curiosity, what does that look like?
That's about 100 million Americans, right?
Yeah.
100 million Americans putting $10 into something, that's $1 billion.
Like a true grassroots. Okay.
And then also, let's just say, forget donations. 100 million Americans that say you to the government and refuse to pay their taxes.
I was going to ask you about.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's on my list.
You want to know why?
Why?
Because the federal government has fucked you over. It rapes you every single day. And here's the deal, think about it. Social Security, you pay in your Social Security check and your employer matches it for all these years, and you retire and you get like a p-diddly $1,500 a month. I mean, that is such a pathetic joke.
Okay.
So here's a little dirty little secret that nobody knows about. All members of Congress and senators and all federal employees, guess what we have? We have a retirement account called TSP. And this is the military, the entire federal government, all of us have it. And a portion of our paycheck goes into the TSP account, and it gets invested and gets heavily invested. And guess what? I checked mine earlier today, and I've been earning an average of 20% on this TSP retirement account, while the American people's Social Security is raped and robbed and pillaged and going broke and going to be totally wiped out by 2035 unless we do something about it. And you don't even know if you're going to get your Social Security. So when I tell you, look, I am dead serious about the American people. If they really wanted to, everybody I work with, all of my colleagues, everybody in the government, they would be terrified to talk to a lobbyist or talk to a foreign government.
I know there is a movement, and it's one that I talked about in a video a couple days ago. There's this movement of people that are filing exempt. They don't want to pay taxes anymore. They don't file anymore. And I'm not going to out them because we don't want the IRS. So there's a movement happening of people that are doing this.
Or they would be terrified to step out of line if the American people got serious about forcing Congress and the Senate and the administration, no matter who's serving, to serve them, serve the people, because it's so far out of control.
The irony in that to me is she actually mentioned one little secret about the congressional and armed services pension dollars they get and how it gets invested. And yet disclosing a secret like that is clearly one of the reasons why people roll over to Donald Trump, because they want to stay in elected office. But this is now someone who is truly suggesting that the American people overthrow Donald Trump's administration. From Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let that sink in for a moment. Like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and wow, stay frosty. Woo!